Welcome to the part third of our chapter electric capacitance. Last time we discussed expression for parallel plate capacitor, expression for energy stored inside a capacitor, and the expression for the seat of energy, that is energy density. Today we are going to discuss something about the dielectrics, which are the materials commonly used in between the plates of parallel plate capacitors and other type of capacitors so as to increase their capacity. How they are able to increase the capacity of parallel plate capacitor or other type of capacitors? Before going into that, we have to study about the dielectric itself. So what is a dielectric? A substance which does not allow the flow of electricity but is susceptible to electrical fields is known as a dielectric. So dielectric is a kind of insulator. Insulators are basically two types. One, those which do not conduct electricity. Second, when we apply strong electric field to few type of insulators, their electrical breakdown does not take place. That means the atoms which are making up the dielectric material, they do not get stretched, due to which charges are not induced on the surface of such dielectrics, but such insulators. On the other side, there are some type of insulators which do not also conduct electricity, do not conduct current, but when electric field is sufficiently strong, electric field is applied onto them, opposite charges are induced on their surfaces. Such insulator materials are known as the dielectrics. For example, glass, wax, air, water, wood, rubber, they are the few of the dielectrics. Now dielectrics are two types, polar and non-polar. What is a polar dielectric? Polar dielectrics are made up of the polar molecules. Those molecules which have already some net finite dipole moment, they make up the dielectric materials which are called as polar dielectrics. For example, water molecule, HCl, ammonia, carbon monoxide, methanol. They are the polar molecules. So these kind of polar molecules, they result in the formation of a polar dielectrics. What is the importance of the polar dielectrics? That here center of gravity of positive and negative charge of the molecules, they do not coincide. Therefore, they possess a finite dipole moment. So, for a polar dielectric, the center of gravity of the positive charge and negative charge, they are separated by a small distance, due to which these type of polar dielectrics, which are represented by this figure, they possess a very small finite value of the dipole moment. Due to the charge separation, equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance, they result in the formation of a dipole which possesses a small dipole moment. On the other side, there are non-polar dielectrics which are made up of non-polar molecules, for example water, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, chloride, etc. Here these molecules, because they have symmetrical shapes, so they possess zero dipole moment. Symmetrical shape means the center of gravity of the positive charge and the negative charge, they lie at the same point. So no charge separation between the positive part and the negative part of a molecule takes place, due to which no dipole is found, hence dipole moment is also zero. So center of gravity, positive and negative charges, they are at the same point, they coincide with each other. So here we have two type of dielectric, polar and non-polar dielectrics. Next, polarization of the polar dielectric in an external electric field. This is an important topic because this topic helps us to understand that how whether we place a polar dielectric or a non-polar dielectric in between the plates of a capacitor, how they able to increase the capacity of the capacitor, that we can easily understand if we study the polarization of the dielectric material inside an external electric field. That is when an external electric field is applied to them. We are talking about the case of the polar dielectric. Non-polar case is almost the same. So in order to understand, here we have a polar dielectric material which is in the absence of any electric field. No external electric field is applied. Here these small shapes, they represent few of the dipole molecules which are forming this polar dielectric material. You can see negative and positive charges are separated, due to which they possess a small dipole moment. But when the field is not applied, all these dipoles, they are randomly oriented. That means their dipole moments are randomly oriented, due to which if we have vector sum of the dipole moment of all the such dipoles of that material, they add up to give 0 dipole moment. So a polar dielectric, in the absence of an electric field, does not possess any finite dipole moment. Remember, polar molecules themselves do possess dipole moment, but if we find the dipole moment of full material or full sample, it will always be equal to 0 because of the random orientation. Now what happens when external electric field is applied? In our electric field chapter, we studied that when electric field is applied to a dipole is acted upon by a torque which tends to rotate the dipole so as to bring it in the direction of electric field. That is, when electric field is applied, a torque acts on the dipole, and this torque tries to bring the direction of a dipole moment and direction of electric field parallel to each other. So when this type of material is subjected to a sufficiently strong electric field, each dipole will rotate at its respective position, so that all the dipoles now arranged in a uniform manner. So here we have positive plate of parallel plate capacitor and negative plate, and a strong electric field E0 exists between the two. This field applies torque on each of the dipole. Each dipole rotates about its fulcrum so as to align itself in the direction of electric field. When such alignment of electric dipole takes place, here an important thing happens. So if we consider these three dipoles, 1, 2, these two dipoles are the dipoles which are present at the extreme edge of the sample. This represents any electric dipole present in the interior of the sample. When the dipoles arrange themselves in this straight chain arrangement, you can see that positive charge of one dipole is quite nearer to the negative charge of the second dipole. Similarly, positive charge of a previous dipole is quite close to the negative charge of the next electric dipole. Same is also happening over here. Positive charge of previous dipole is nearer to the negative charge of the next dipole. Its own positive charge is present very close to the negative charge of the next dipole. And this thing takes place in the whole of the sample in the presence of the external electric field. So when this arrangement of the dipole takes place, what happens? All these dipoles, when they arrange themselves, the positive charge of one dipole counterbalances the negative charge of the next dipole present in the line. So this positive charge is counterbalanced by this negative charge. This positive charge is counterbalanced by this negative charge of the next dipoles present in the series. These things happen in the whole of the interior of the sample. These are now the dipoles present at the extreme edges. That means there is no further dipole present at the front of these two dipoles. There is no dipole further present behind these dipoles. Due to this, these positive charges are left uncovered. That means there is no further negative charge present nearer to them to neutralize their effect, and there is no positive charge present behind these negative charges to neutralize these effects. So when electric field is applied, dipoles rotate, align themselves in the direction of electric field. Interior charges inside the sample balances each other. net charge in the interior becomes equal to 0, but only at the one face of the sample only positive charge is left, and the other face of the sample only negative charge is left. So situation looks like this, where we are only having these negative charges and positive charges present at the extreme edges of the sample. These charges are known as the induced charges, and these charges are induced by the applied electric field. If you make this electric field equal to 0, dipole will again de-align, they will go back to random orientation, these induced charges will again disappear. One thing you have to note down, these are the induced charges which are present on a dielectric, which is an insulator, which is short of very short of the movable charges. So you can clearly see that the charge density on the plates of the capacitor is huge, but the charge density, induced charge density on the sample, dielectric sample, is very small. Just like these positive and negative charge, they develop applied electric field E0. These induced positive and induced negative charges inside the dielectric, they set up their own electric field, which is directed from positive to the negative charge, that is from B to A. So this electric field is directed from B to A. We label it as EP. We call this as electric field due to polarization, or electric field as EI, electric field due to the induced charges. It has its direction opposite to the applied electric field. Moreover, because induced charges are very small in magnitude as compared to charge present on the capacitor plate, so its strength is also very small as compared to the strength of applied electric field. So inside the dielectric sample, this field EP or EI, which is electric field due to polarization, tries to counterbalance some of the magnitude of the applied electric field E0, because E0 is greater than EP. So a net electric field exists inside the dielectric material, which is given by E0 minus EI, and this electric field E, which is reduced inside the dielectric sample, it helps to increase the capacity of parallel plate capacitor. We know that voltage or potential difference between the plates of capacitor is equal to electric field into distance between the plates. So if we want to decrease V, we want to decrease electric field. So when this dielectric material is placed between the plates of capacitor, the polarization of the dielectric material takes place, due to which overall electric field E inside the dielectric material is reduced, and this reduction in electric field helps to reduce the potential difference between these two plates, due to which the overall capacity of a capacitor increases, because C is inversely proportional to V. So when dielectric material is introduced between the plates of parallel plate capacitor, it reduces the overall electric field strength inside it, decreases the potential difference, and is helping to increase the capacity of parallel plate capacitor. This field which is left inside the inside the dielectric is known as a reduced value of electric field. EI or EP, it is the electric field due to induced charges or electric field due to polarization. Now, so what is polarization over here? Here we have seen that when the sample was placed in the absence of electric field, no such induced charges were present on its sides, but when it was subjected to external electric field, it was able to introduce induced charges on its opposite edges. That means positive charge on one side, negative charge on other side. This process of development of induced charges on the surface of a material when it is subjected to external applied electric field, we call it as a process of polarization. In this case, because each electric dipole is subjected to electric field E0, so the positive charge of the electric dipole molecule experiences a force plus QE, and negative charge of the electric dipole molecule experience a force minus QA, and both forces are in the opposite direction, due to which further stretching of the dipole takes place. That means the dipole, which was like this before subjecting it to the electric field, now it will be something like this. A slight stretching of a dipole will take place where the distance between negative and the positive charge will increase. We know that dipole moment is equal to Q into distance between the charges. Q remains same, only the distance is increased, so the dipole moment also increases. So dielectric material, by setting up their own electric field due to induced charges, by polarizing themselves, reduces the net electric field, and they are able to reduce the potential difference, and hence they are able to increase the capacity of a parallel plate capacitor. This reduced electric field, smaller its magnitude, greater will be the capacitance. Moreover, if we divide the applied electric field by this reduced value of electric field, E naught over E, it is represented by letter K or epsilon R, which is nothing but the dielectric constant of the material or relative permittivity. Next, polarization density. For a material which is subjected to external electric field and whose polarization is done, we can define polarization density represented by capital P. Do not use small p, only capital P, as total dipole moment per unit volume of the sample. The total dipole moment per unit volume of the sample is called polarization density. So in this case, if this is the polarized dielectric material with induced charges Qi and minus Qi on its opposite faces, at the distance d between the negative and the positive charge, and A is the area enclosed between these two surfaces holding positive and negative induced charges, we have the polarization density as net dipole moment divided by volume between the plates of capacitor, which is equal to P net is equal to Qi into D. Volume is A into D, D and D get cancelled. Charge per unit area, which is induced charge. So from this we have produced an important result that for a polarized dielectric material, its polarization density capital P is directly proportional to the induced surface charge density. This can be asked in the exam as a 2-mark question. Prove that polarization density is directly proportional to or equal to induced surface charge density. Next important term, electric susceptibility. This polarization density P is directly proportional to the resultant electric field left inside the sample. If E is not large, under this condition that reduced electric field is not large, then polarization is directly proportional to resulting electric field inside the sample. That is, P is proportional to E, or P will be equal to epsilon naught chi E into E, where this is a symbol for psi. We have placed small e along with it, which is indicating electric susceptibility. So P is equal to epsilon naught psi E into E, or electric susceptibility psi E is equal to P over epsilon naught E, or it is equal to electrical susceptibility. Last, an important relation between K and susceptibility. We know that reduced field between the plates of capacitor is E naught minus EP. Electric field between the dielectric faces is sigma I over epsilon naught. Sigma I is the induced surface charge density, and we had just produced that surface charge density is equal to polarization density, so sigma I is equal to P, so we have EP equal to P over epsilon naught. Again, if we take up the equation, E is equal to E naught minus P by epsilon naught, where we have substituted this value of EP over here. So now putting the value of polarization density over here, we have E equal to E naught minus epsilon naught chi E into E. epsilon naught get cancel, we have is equal to E naught minus psi into E, or E throughout this equation divided by E by E is equal to E naught by E minus chi naught into E by E get cancel. This is equal to 1 equal to E naught over E minus chi E, and E naught over E is nothing but dielectric constant. So finally we have equation 1 plus chi E is equal to K, that is susceptibility, electric susceptibility plus 1 gives us the dielectric material. So this equation indicates that material which has a greater dielectric constant will have greater electric susceptibility and vice versa. Thank you.